I'm not giving you my banking information. If you sell over the phone, you've heard this form of resistance. Most salespeople don't know how to respond to this. Most salespeople have a deer in the headlight type of response, not any longer. See, before understanding how to respond to this stall or objection, you must first get your mindset right. So this is all about getting your mindset right. See, you are in the financial services industry, and you're going to be held at a much higher standard than any other industry. You're not going to jeopardize yourself or the industry that you actually work in. See, most salespeople feel that they must try to prove to the individual that they are an expert and list all their credentials. See, what that's going to do is this. It's actually going to turn someone away because it feels like the salesperson is actually trying to hide behind something. See, the way that you make someone feel comfortable so that they don't feel like this is a scam is by being direct and right to the point. See, what you want to do is this, is you want to explain why this is needed to process the information, and that's why you're asking for the banking information. See, you've earned the right to ask the prospect for this information. Never forget that. If you've helped the prospect to this point of the phone call, you've now earned the right to ask for the banking information. First of all, always agree. See, this is not the time to try to list all of your credentials, give them your license, give all of your information. That is not what will make the prospect comfortable. The way that you answer this resistance is with confidence, and you're determined to be able to help this person out. So you're going to notice that if you listen carefully to what I'm about to say, the word process is used 3 times in this response. Make sure that you make this word a part of your process. You see, what happens is the word process subliminally tells the customer that this is the only way to do business, not just with you, but with anybody that they're going to need this from. So here's how you're going to go ahead and respond to, I'm not giving you my banking information. The first thing you're going to say is this, I hear you, Joe. The process used when completing an application with any insurance company is the most secure of any industry. All insurance companies must use a secure platform to process your banking information similar to what Social Security and Medicare use to process retirement checks. The insurance company, as well as myself, are held accountable for making sure your information is protected. You have nothing to worry about when you're dealing with me. Let's first start with your routing number, which are those first 9 numbers on the left of your check. So as we went through this response, I'm going to repeat it back again so that it sinks in. You're going to want to memorize this so that it becomes a part of your process. So I hear you, Joe. The process used when completing an application with any insurance company is the most secure of any industry. All insurance companies must use a secure platform to process your banking information, similar to what Social Security and Medicare use to process retirement checks. The insurance company, as well as myself, are held accountable for making sure that your information is protected. You have nothing to worry about when you're dealing with me. Let's start first with your routing number, which are those first 9 numbers on the left of your check. See, you've told them that this is the only way to do business with confidence, and you've used that magic word, process. See, this will typically work, and it'll get the customer to understand that if they want this, all insurance companies will operate exactly the same. You've been upfront with them, and you let them know that you will be held accountable. That word accountable is very, very big in sales because it's telling that prospect that you are on the line for this as well. So what about if the prospect comes back to you and says, I still don't feel comfortable giving that information to you over the phone? How do you respond to what I call the stall behind the stall? So here's how you would respond to the stall behind the stall. It's okay to feel that way, Joe. Let me explain this process a little bit better so that you're comfortable with the process since we're both on the same team. The secure banking platform that is used during the process will X out your information as it's entered in so that it can no longer be accessible. Since insurance is part of the financial services industry, it's monitored by the federal government, and I'm held accountable for your information. You have nothing to worry about when you're dealing with me. Let's start first with your routing number, which are those first 9 numbers on the left of your check. See, you have now ended with almost verbatim the same ending that you did to the previous stall. See, by repeating the same thing twice without embellishing anything, that's extremely powerful. See, in both of these responses, what's happened is this, is you've used the word process, which is letting that prospect know that this is the only way that this can happen. It's a nice way of saying this is the only way that something is going to happen. So you've used that word process. The other very important word that you've used is the word accountable. You are accountable, the insurance company is accountable, so at the end of this phone call, if something goes wrong, you are accountable. You're taking accountability for this. See, people respond emotionally. Never ever forget that. If this still does not work, you must go back over your discovery process and show them how this was their decision, not yours. So you must get off the money if this second response does not work. So many salespeople will make the mistake of staying on the money when somebody is saying no. If you've had a response and then you've had a response to the stall behind the stall, you have to get off the money. You have to get off the money. Most salespeople stay on the money. Once you've done it twice, get off the money. You can ask them, what's your biggest concern now that you're on Medicare? See, their biggest concern may be that they're worried if they can afford what you're selling. That's a whole different conversation. You must uncover the reason they are not moving forward with you. One piece of advice is this: do not hang up the phone. You will never ever get this opportunity ever again, so make sure that you find out exactly what it is that's preventing them from giving you the bank information. You've given them two really, really good responses that should get that prospect to turn into a customer for you. Now that you've heard this response, now that you've heard this stall, go out there and memorize it and make sure that it becomes a part of your selling process, and go out there and be an absolute sales rock star.